Okay, today we do the June 2007 paper 3. We work for a company called Untitled Design. We will perform some clerical tasks. All currency should be in sterling. Use a suitable software package, load the file J7 stock. We're going to ICT course, June 2007 paper 3, and open up J7 stocks, the CSV file. As you can see, it'll open up in Microsoft Office Excel. I select all spreadsheets from here and I double click column A, so everything fits the column width. Right. In the company column, use a lookup function to show the company name. Use the C code column for the lookup value and the file J7 code for the array. Use absolute and relative referencing in your function. Before I start the function, I'll open up J7 code. In column B bigger. As you can see, this is a vertical table, so now I know I will use a Vlookup. So it said if I need to show the company name, so I need to click in cell B7. I'll show you through insert function how to do the Vlookup. Okay, type in Vlookup, press go, and press OK. Okay, my lookup value will be in the same table I'm using my function in. So it will be A7. I want to know what this C code means. C code is company code. My table array, click inside table array. I minimize the spreadsheet. I select cells A2 to B14. My column index, I want to show the second column, so I click inside column index number and I click on type in 2. And my range lookup, I want an exact match, so it's 0. I press OK. My spreadsheet. Let's have a look at the function equals Vlookup, lookup A7, which is the code in our external file array A2 to B14. I show the second column and it has to be an exact match. As you can see, I've used a relative cell reference and absolute cell referencing, which were inserted automatically because I selected a table from an external array. Use fill down and double click, and it replicates the formula all the way to the bottom of the column. So let's have a look again, A7, and this is fixed. Let's have a look at B8, A7 changed to A8, that's correct, and my table is still fixed. Let's have a look at B9, A8 changed to A9, which is correct, and the table is still fixed. Okay, so let's move on. You have to enter the following data into the model. Okay, so over here in E2 I type in 0.225. In E3 I will type in 0.18, and in cell E4 I type in 0.1. Okay, that's complete. Now we're going to name these cells rate A, rate B, and rate C. So I click in cell E2. In my name box, I type in rate A and I press enter. I click in cell E3. In my name box, I type in rate B and I press enter. I click in cell E4. In my name box, I type in rate C and I press enter. Okay, that's my rates names. For these three cells, format them as percentage and 0 decimal places. So I select the three cells, E2 to E4, right click, format cells, I choose percentage, and I choose 0 decimal places, and I press OK. Step 6, use a COUNTIF function that includes absolute and relative referencing in cell B2. So it told me which cell I need my function in to count the number of SX entries in the C code column. Do not count any entries in rows 1 to 4. So in here I need to use a COUNTIF function. I need to see how many times A2, which is SX, appears in the C code column. So I'll click on insert function and I'm doing a COUNTIF function. Press OK. My range will be the C code. and scroll back up, and I click inside criteria, and my criteria will be A2, which has got the value SX in there. I need to keep my range locked, so I select it and then press F4 on the keyboard, so that puts it in absolute cell referencing. My criteria, I do not put in absolute cell referencing, I keep that as a relative cell reference. I press OK. Let's have a look at the function. Equals, count if, open bracket, check the range A7 to A80. So here, I haven't included entries from rows 1 to 4, as the question asked, and I check this range for the contents of cell A2, which is SX. To fill down, I put my mouse in the corner, double click, and it fills it down to the other cells. As you can see, my range stayed the same, and my criteria increases to show this time the contents of cell A4, which is UTP. So it checks this range now for UTP, and that's come up 7 times. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. It carry on going to the bottom of this column, 7 here. So it's counted this 7 times, which is correct. Okay, in the cost column, G7, use a formula to multiply unit by quantity. So in the cost column, G7, over here, I've got to use a formula to multiply unit by quantity. So that's just a simple formula. You do equals, click on unit, click on shift star, which is multiply, and then click on F7, which is quantity. So press enter, and I double click the mouse in the corner, so it replicates my formula all the way down. Number 8, in the discount column, use an if function to calculate the discount to be given. If the code is A, multiply the name cell rate A by cost. If the code is P, multiply the name cell rate B by cost. If it's C, and multiply the name cell rate C by cost. So this is if the code is A, B, or C, I need to give them a discount. So if the code is not A, B, or C, but the code is empty, they get no discount. So bear that in mind. So this, I know it is an if function. It told me in the question, but I also know because I got a logical test, I got value if true. It's a nested if function because it's more than one logical test. And in value if false, I could put down they get no discount. In this case, it will be 0. So let's get started with the function. So in discount, I'll show you through insert function. And I'll type in if and press go. Press OK. And let's get started. My logical test list is if code is equal to A. Okay, then I multiply rate A by cost. So I click inside code. If that equals, I click in cell D2 because D2 contains A. But I'll have to keep D2 fixed. So I select it and press F4. So if code is A, then I want to multiply rate A, which is cell E2, multiply a star by cost, which is cell G7. I click inside value if false, but I have another logical test to do, so I click on if again and insert another if function for me to type in. The other test now would be if code is equal to B, which is cell D3. Same thing, I put cell D3 selected and press F4 on the keyboard, and the value if true would be a multiply rate B by cost. I click inside value if false, but I haven't finished my function yet. I got another logical test, so I click on if. So I start another if function, and my logical test this time would be if code is equal to C, so which is D4. Similar thing, and select D4 and press F4 on the keyboard, and my value if true this time would be rate C. times that by the cost. Now I've done my free if function, but what if, as you can see, some codes are empty? That means they get no discount. So my value if false, I type in 0, I press OK, and there we go. Let's have a look at the function. Equals if, open bracket, if C7 equals D2, which is A, then multiply rate A by cost, which is G7, comma, if, open bracket, C7, which is our code, is equal to D3. This time we're checking if it's equal to B. If it's equal to B, then we multiply rate B by G7, which is cost, comma, if, open bracket, C7. This time we check if the code is equal to D4. So the code is equal to C. If it is, we multiply rate C by G7, which is cost. If it's neither A, B, or C, a value if false will be 0. And I've kept D2, D3, and D4 in absolute cell referencing. So rather than me typing in C7 equals A in quotation marks, I actually clicked on the cell that contains the letter A. Okay. So I'm going to double click in the corner to use fill down, and this calculates all the discounts. In the price column, use a formula to subtract the discount from the cost. So this is the price column. I'm going to do equals, click in cell G7, which is cost, take away, click in cell H7, which is discount, and enter. So this is the price after discount. To replicate the formula, I double click in the corner of the cell, and it replicates the formula all the way down. Format only the unit, cost, discount, and price columns as currency in pounds sterling to 2 decimal places. So only the unit, cost, discount, and price. So unit, cost, discount, and price. So what I do, I select unit first. So I selected that normally with the mouse. I press, then I press Control on the keyboard, and I select my other 3 columns. I selected then cost, discount, and price. So as you can see, E is highlighted. It goes all the way down to the bottom of the column. G, H, and I are highlighted. So I select E normally without pressing Control. Then I let go of Control and let go of the left mouse button. So then I press Control. I kept my finger on Control, and I selected from G7 all the way down to I80. So because the columns were not next to each other, I had quantity in column F which I did not want to select. That's why I had to select Control to select the alternate columns. Alright, now I'm going to format these into format cells, and I choose currency. Make sure from a drop down list you choose pound sterling, press OK, and I select all my spreadsheet. I double click on column A, and it automatically makes column widths bigger. Set the page orientation to landscape. Okay, so I'll go to page layout, orientation, landscape. Save the data model and print a copy of the sheet showing the formula used. Make sure the contents of all cells are visible and the printout fits on a single page wide and 2 or 3 pages tall. Make sure your name, candidate number, and center number are printed on the header. Okay, so I go to formulas, show formulas. I select all the spreadsheets, double click on column A so everything fits tidily. Office icon, print. Okay, active sheet, there I go to preview, and at the moment I will need my printer to fit on 1 page wide, but it can be 2 or 3 pages tall. But at the moment it's a lot of pages, page 1 of 6. So I'll go to page setup, then go to fit to 1 page wide, and then choose 2 pages tall. I click on header footer. I can't type it in here, I have to click on custom header. In the left side I type my name. In the center I type my candidate number. And on the right, I type my center number, I press OK, I press OK. You can see it's page 1 of 2, so it's 2 pages, and it fits on 1 page wide. I will print, then I close print preview. And then I got to hide rows 1 to 5 and hide columns A, C, E, G, and H. Okay, first of all, I'll take off show formulas, select my spreadsheet, all of it, and double click on column A, so everything fits the column width. Let's have a look again. Hide rows 1 to 5, so that means have a look at the mouse changes. I select rows 1 to 5, right click, and I click on hide. Then I want to hide columns A, C, E, G, H. So select A, press Control, select C, press Control, select E, press Control, select G, press Control, select H. Make sure I got the right selection. A, C, E, G, H. A, C, E, G, H, yeah. And then I right click and click on hide. Okay. Search the data, find all the items where the price is less than £1. So I click, I need to do a search, that means I need to do a filter. So from data, I click on any heading and I click on filter. So the price has to be less than £1, so I click on the price drop down box. I go to number filters and I go to less than, and less than I type in 1, I press OK, and there we go, all the price that is less than £1. Print this data, make sure your name, center number, candidate number are in the header. So office, I go to print, let's go to print preview. Okay, my name, candidate number, center number are in the header. I can see all the information. I print it, then I close print preview. Number 17, select all the data and then leave rows 1 to 5 hidden and columns A, C, E, G, and H hidden. So don't unhide my rows or columns, but I got to remove the filter, so I click on clear. So that's all the data. Search the data to find items where quantity is greater than or equal to 60 and the price is greater than 2. Let's do quantity first. Greater than or equal to 60. So go to quantity, number filters, greater than or equal to. I type in 60 and I press OK. So this is all my quantity that's greater than or equal to 60. And then I got to find where the price is greater than 2. So go to price, number filters, I go to greater than, I type in 2, I press OK, and there we go. Then it says print this and make sure your name, candidate number, center number are printed in the header of the page. So click on the office icon, print, let's have a look at preview. Name, candidate number, center number, all the information is clear and easy to read, so I press print, then I close print preview. Okay, so that's the spreadsheet question coming to an end. So I click on the office icon, save as. I got to save as an Excel workbook. So you navigate to your June 2007 paper 3 folders and you click on save. So that's complete, so I can turn it off. I turn my table, my J7 code CSV file off. I don't need to save changes to that. And that's it. That's June 2007 paper 3 complete.